Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with part two of the Tuesday edition of Today in Sports Betting. Taking a look at the NBA with my buddy Scott Reichel. As always, we take a look at the couple of the TV games and then randomly weigh in with our thoughts if we have any other games that we really get our attention that we would like some plays. So let's start with the TV game, Scott. A couple of barn burners tonight, buddy. Possible Western Conference Finals here, Scott. Finals preview as we have the LA Lakers taking on the Houston Rockets down there in Houston. I'm trying
to answer your question, possible late playoff matchup here. No, the Lakers will be there. The Rockets won't.
Lakers 5.5 point road favorites. 222 is your total. You impressed with this Lakers team so far, Scott?
When they try. The big if. I mean, the Lakers go through the motions. They know that if they're in there, kind of like how LeBron handled the Eastern Conference, he knows 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 7 seed, doesn't matter. Lakers in 5. It doesn't matter. It's just the Lakers know as long as AD and LeBron are healthy by the end of the year, they'll be the favorites to win the title. And I think you have to agree with that. They're the best team in the league by far. And when
I have to agree with that? What if I don't?
I think you have to.
I have to?
Name another team.
That seems pretty harsh.
Just name another team.
Randomly?
Preferably a good one.
Seattle Supersonics.
They should have a team. I still feel bad about how they got robbed of a team. But that's the thing, though. You look at the NBA, and the teams that were supposed to compete with the Lakers were the Nets, who haven't looked that great.
No.
And you have the Clippers, who I'm still not relying on Paul George in a playoff game. Yeah. So can you think of a team that's better than the Lakers? Because I can't.
Certainly not in the West. I mean, I know the powers that want us the powers that be want us to believe it's Milwaukee.
No. I've watched Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee's that good.
Oh, they don't play what's that thing where you try to stop the other team? Defense. They don't do that.
They don't. I watched Milwaukee play. I don't think they're very good. So, Point is the Lakers are 8-3. They've had a couple of underwhelming performances, but the Lakers just go out there, and if they try, they'll dominate, like they did against Houston in the last game, where they won by 20 and they just absolutely torched them. Or they'll just go into a game and say, well, LeBron and AD are questionable because, of course, they are. And we'll see what happens. And, it doesn't matter. We're going to make the playoffs, and who cares? So, the truth is I hate betting on Laker games this year because I never know what to expect from them. They're like a box of chocolates.
So young, so bitter. Scott Reichel, everybody.
I just said they're like a box of chocolates. I thought you'd appreciate the reference.
Yeah, I did. That's one of my favorites. It's a nice Gump reference, and I apologize for blowing it over to throw my own joke in there. Yes, they are.
I also find ironic that you made the bittersweet comment when that's also a type of chocolate.
Bittersweet is a chocolate?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of semi-sweet.
Could have sworn it's also a type.
I'm not sure. I think
they make every type of food.
We could be out over our skis here.
We could be.
I might be out white chocolate, which isn't even chocolate.
To be honest, I might be out kicking my coverage.
Absolutely. Tell me what to like about this Houston team.
They got this one guy named James Harden who scores a lot of points and also tends to like strip clubs a lot. But he's a very good scorer. I know John Wall has actually been pretty good this year. I'll give Wall some props. I know that there was some questions about his health after the serious surgery he had on his leg and everything like that.
Right.
He's 20 points per game, 25-5. I mean, he's been good. He's questionable for this game with migraines, so I don't even know if he's going to play. But I also don't know if LeBron and AD are going to play, so it's kind of a cancellation there. But I got to like the Lakers. I don't want to go into a game and assume the Lakers aren't going to care. So based on that, assuming that everyone's playing and everything like that, which I kind of have to, the Lakers just killed this team. So I can't like Houston. Houston just got smacked.
Is Houston ever going to play enough defense, buddy?
Well, they got rid of D'Antoni, so they couldn't have gotten much worse. I mean, look at the recent performances. Houston, last game against the Lakers, lost by 18.
No, I know.
I can't I can't look at Houston and just go randomly, I think that this extremely hyped up team that's also 3-5 is going to just come back, and I just don't see it. It's just, if the Lakers want to beat this team by 20, they'll beat this team by 20.
Now it is worth mentioning that this is the second game in the series.
Yeah,
as they did play Houston on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, whatever. Beat them by 18 is a 3.5 point favor. The lines up here to 5.5. If past performances has led us to believe anything about how this is working, this game should be closer. The question is whether it's going to be 5.5 points closer, or whether it's going to be within 5.5.
I think Wall might not play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And neither one of these teams are great against the number. They're just not.
Well, the Lakers aren't great against the number, but I will give them some props. They are 5-0 on the road.
Right.
That's straight up, of course.
Right.
But I mean, they're taking care of business on the highway, and that's definitely a good sign.
I don't think there's any question they're the best team in basketball right now.
Yeah, I said name a team, and you can't.
No. I just I was jacking with you, but yeah, there's nobody to challenge the Lakers now. Whether it works out in the playoffs, whether they stay healthy, there's definitely some issues. But yeah, right now, as it stands right now, they are head and shoulders the best team in basketball.
Truth is, I know that they're a decent favorite here. If you ever want to take them to win the title right now, I can't really blame you, because I really don't see much opposition.
What's title odds for the Lakers right now? You have any idea?
I can check right now, but I'm assuming it's probably in the maybe +1, either high +100s or low +200s.
Yeah, I was thinking
it's not pretty. I mean,
250 might be. I was thinking 250, but I could be wildly optimistic too.
It's +230.
Okay, not bad.
I mean, you look at who else is there; they're better than everybody. So
yeah, I still don't think that's a great play. I'm not taking anybody against the field at +230 in early part of the season. So
I'll take the Lakers. I mean, okay. Sure.
You gonna give me the field?
If you want the field, do you actually want the field? It turns out I didn't want the fields yesterday. Are you sure you want the field today?
So you get the Lakers. I get everybody else.
I'll give you everybody else.
What price?
I don't know. We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, fair enough. I can't bet against the Lakers here. I don't love them in this spot.
No, but the Rockets aren't very good.
I think they could. I think they could jack around and win it. Win it by 2 or 3.
Can we also just briefly acknowledge the fact that it looks like the Boogie Cousins edition is a complete waste of time? I gotta bring it up.
That's the thing with Houston. Can you really compete without having a real center on your team?
Well, I'm not gonna roast Christian Wood. I think Christian Wood's very good. I think he's a very good basketball player. I mean, he's averaging 23 and 10. Like, Christian Wood is legit. So I think they do have a big man, but I don't think they have any depth. I think that's the main issue. Because then the Lakers can go to the bench and bring in a Harrell, bring in some other guys. The Rockets just don't have that luxury. That's the problem.
Well, again, we'll see. It's a long season. Wood has looked good so far, but
I like him a lot. I think he's very talented. But looking at Boogie Cousins, I mean, he was supposed to be a guy who can, put up some numbers and do whatever. He's averaging roughly 5.8 points per game.
He does put up numbers. They're just very small.
I mean, he's shooting 30.6% from the floor. Now, I'm not going to fully roast him because I know he's had a couple series of leg injuries that pretty much ended his career.
Right.
But at some point, you might actually have to waive the guy. He's been ejected in more games than he's actually playing at this point.
I'm not mad at him as a human being. I'm not going to roast him as a human being.
He's just bad. He's bad. It's just the way it is. He's not a good player.
I agree. I think we both lean Lakers here. You just because you have to, because they're the far superior, they're the far superior team.
And I'll lean under as well.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, this is Lakers are probably 8 points better than Rockets here, 8 or 9 points. So
yeah,
I think there's value there. It's all about whether they play up to expectations, and that's what the Lakers are always about.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lean under the 222.
I went under in the first meeting, and Wall might not play. So if Wall does not play, this should drop to what, like 218?
I'm not sure he's worth 4 points.
He's averaging 20.
They put up 222. They put up 222 in the first game, by the way.
But you know that if Wall does not play, it's going to be the Harden isolation 18 seconds in a row of dribbling in a straight line game.
Oh, that'll be unusual. Haven't seen that in a while.
But I'm saying that's going to eat up a lot of clock. If he's just dribbling around, just taking step-back jumpers from 35 feet with the 5 on the clock, I mean, they're going to eat up all the clock in the world.
Look, this total is all about whether Harden gets hot or not.
Correct. Yeah. So I'll take the under.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to a game. If anything, I'm even more excited about. This is a game. I don't know who they had to pay off to have this one on TV. I guess it's the only late game, I guess, is the deal. Because we just didn't have a lot of other competition.
It's the only game in California tonight.
It is the only game in California. It's the Indiana Pacers against the Golden State Warriors. Two teams that are, I don't know. I mean, well, the Pacers aren't surprising, but are you surprised the Warriors are 6-4?
Truth is I thought the Warriors were going to be awful, and then Draymond came back, and I know he's not a great offensive player, but he's been everything the Warriors wanted and more. Draymond's been very, very good. I'll give him props for that. He's been great.
Yeah, very good. And this is a team. This is a Golden State team. It's interesting. They don't play a ton of defense. Yet they're still getting they're still hitting unders. Can you explain that one to us, Scott? How they give up 116 points as a defense and are 3-7 to the under, or 3-7 to the over, rather?
I think the main reason why is because of the fact that since the NBA was supposed to be unpredictable, not knowing what to expect from teams, they saw the first 2 games with Golden State where you had the Bucks fiasco and the Nets fiasco, and you say to yourself, these totals should be in the 900s. And then ever since then, they've played some form of defense, and the market still didn't fully adjust. So I think the main reason why it just overreacted to the first 2 games and thought.
Well, if you look at they give up 390 points in their first 3 games.
That's what I'm saying. So you're looking at the start of the season, and you say to yourself, this might be the worst defense in the league.
Right.
So you over-adjust, and then after that, the Warriors started playing defense when Draymond came back, or playing better defense when Draymond came back. And then you've seen a lot of unders because the totals are still used to where they were in the opening week.
Yeah, after they kind of had to stretch there where they give up 123, 122 to Portland in back-to-back games, and then they haven't given up more than 108 in the 4 game census. And I'm with you. I think the market still hasn't adjusted. I think this is a big number here at 228.5. I love the under in this game.
For me, I like the under. I wouldn't say I love it as much, but I do like it. Couple of aspects I have to keep in mind. First of all, Indiana played yesterday, so you have to worry about fatigue in the back-to-back. Second of all, Oladipo might not play. He's currently a game-time decision, but since he's still coming off of that serious injury a year ago or so, and Indiana has been guarding him ever since, or protecting him, I should say.
Right.
It seems like Oladipo is not going to play, and he's averaging 20 points per game. So that's a decent blow there to the offense. Plus, Golden State, I know that Curry was awful against Toronto, and they won anyway. I think he'll bounce back. Wiggins has played a lot better.
We were pretty down on Wiggins.
I had to be. I mean, he was awful for the first, 5 games or so. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say, the other starter there I still think is abysmal, and that's Oubre. I think Oubre's terrible.
Is he your least favorite NBA player, Scott?
Not my least favorite, but this year he's got to be in my bottom 5.
You hate him so much. I don't know if he kicked your dog or something.
I don't hate him as in a person. I just watched him play this year, and I think he stinks.
Okay.
I just don't. I look at him and I just say, how are you playing 25 to 30 minutes a game? So no, I don't hate him.
Well, you know the answer because they don't have anybody better on their roster.
The point is, I don't hate him because he kicked my imaginary dog or something. It's just
that'd be a thing to do.
It's just I watched some people play and I just say to myself, if I bet on the Warriors in a game, I'm going to hate you. And Oubre is that guy who can single-handedly sabotage a bet because he just keeps chucking up terrible shots. Is that a fair statement? I think that's a fair statement.
It is a fair statement.
So that's the main reason why. It's because I'm afraid to bet on the Warriors because he's in the starting lineup. Put Damian Lee in the starting lineup. Rotate. Do something, because Oubre's not doing it.
That's what you like here.
That's another story for another day. I'm going to lean to the Warriors here on the side. Indiana's on a back-to-back, missing their second-best scorer. Or third best scorer. I just don't think it's a great spot for them. Golden State, is the team great? No, but it has been playing better lately. That Clippers comeback impressed me. I'll give him props for that one.
Yeah.
Am I impressed they beat Toronto by 1? I have no idea. Like, we've been talking about some teams. Toronto, I don't even know how to describe Toronto. Like, that's just on a separate level. So, they won the game. I think I have to be impressed by that win because Curry went, 2 for 16?
Yeah.
They won the game anyway.
Problem with Toronto, they lost their big men and haven't replaced them. They've got no presence in the middle at all.
Correct, but I'm just saying that even I'm impressed by the win against a terrible team because Curry was awful and they found a way to win anyway.
Okay.
I'll lean Warriors and I'll lean under.
Okay. No, I'm with you. That's
You lean Warriors also?
Yeah, I think that's solid. I think I don't know if they're going to hold out Oladipo. They officially call it maintenance or not. But yeah, I think there's a really good chance he doesn't play in this one. And I think if he does play, I'm not sure he's going to be as much of a factor as he normally would be. So, yeah, I'll take this. I'll take this surprising Golden State team at home. Give me the Warriors -3, and let me jump all over that total that I still think the market hasn't adjusted to under 228.5. Any other? It's a kind of a short NBA card tonight. Any other NBA games stand out for you?
Truth is, not really. I'm going through the card here. It's really just not a pretty card. Philly, I think, is interesting because Simmons is supposed to be back and Embiid's supposed to be back, but the Heat are missing basically everybody.
Right.
So it's kind of like a role reversal because Philly was the team missing everybody last week. Do I trust Philly laying 7? No. So I'm not interested in that one.
So you really don't want to jump on a team with this Miami team that's missing 5 guys that
That's the thing, though, is that Spoelstra just always game plans well for Philly. I mean, I know it's different this year because Philly can shoot.
All right, well, let's go over this again. Dragic is out.
They're missing everybody. Like
Adebayo's out. Butler's out. Kendrick Nunn's out, and Haslam's out.
It's a G League roster. It's not pretty. Do I really trust Philly laying 7?
Well, I think this is going to come down to which player, because Philly's mentioned a bunch of guys with COVID too. Their players that are missing, they're not as good. So luckily the scrubs seem to hang out and the stars hang out. And unfortunately the COVID has hit the stars for Miami and not for Philly.
I'd maybe look at Miami plus the points. I mean, I'm just going through the entire card. I'm not giving out a player or anything. It's just You go through the card, maybe the Denver-Brooklyn over. But I mean, I think I'd have to lean to the over there because the Nets can't play defense at all.
I look at that game and I want to take Denver. I want to take Brooklyn so badly, and they've just been such a disappointment so far this season.
It's really fair. Kyrie's still AWOL, but
Denver on the road is usually a pretty good fade. But
both teams can't play any defense, so I'd lean over if I had to pick anything.
All right, very good.
But I'm not touching it. I think I'm just taking a pass on the NBA. Besides the 2 games we gave leans on.
All right, very good. All right, guys, there you go. That's going to be a show for today. That's our NBA show. As always, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com for deep dives into not just these games, but every game, every sport, including what starts tomorrow, Scott?
Hockey.
Dropping the puck. Got some great hockey handicappers over at Winners and Whiners. Don't forget to stop by and check out that information. Won't you? And that's going to do it for us, for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners. Appreciate you guys watching today. Don't forget to drop us a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Of course, we hope every one of those tickets in your pocket today turns into cash money back at the window. You guys are the best. Appreciate it. We always have the best viewers anywhere on the YouTube. So I'll stand behind that statement. So for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us at Winners and Whiners, thanks for watching. See you next time. We'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.